This video is made possible by Gigabytes Technology's video upscaling services. Check out the link below to see how we can help you upscale your old videos and bring them into the 21st century. gigabytestech.com/video services. The secret the tech industry won't tell you: technicians Google their answers. I'm Mr. Gigabytes, and we're going to replace a battery in my Keyone. When looking on how to replace my battery in my Keyone, I was unsure of how to get the back off. It turns out it's a fairly simple process, and I'm going to show you how to do it. The videos that I watched and the information that I got, they said remove back. Well, how do you do that without breaking it? Sometimes experts forget that they were novices once too. So we're going to do that video, and I'm going to show you exactly how to remove the back off of a Blackberry Keyone. Let's get started. I've got a little toolkit here that I think it came with the battery. I'm not 100% sure. Probably didn't. Probably came in with something else. We're going to try to use a few of the tools here and whatnot, but it's just a little cheap set. Let's open up the battery here. The neat thing that this battery actually came with some adhesive. I do not intend to replace that by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think a battery should ever be glued down. But we'll take a closer look at the battery here in a minute. First thing you do is to get it out of the case. We'll set that aside for now. Now, interestingly, this back cover is actually fairly easy to pop off, but to do it the first time takes a little bit of work. What I did, and what I'm going to do, now you can use one of these and kind of push it underneath. I can get a hold on it here. But honestly, I've got fingernails that do a little bit better job. So we got that started. Good idea to shut down the phone before you start. I'm just gonna push this to the side. And of course it started to back up again. These little clips are like little L's, so they kind of grab up underneath the metal there. There's one on that side too. Go. A little bit of adhesive there. This part's a little bit tricky. I don't take these things apart very often. Does it show? There we go. Sort of rock this panel away like so. And there we go. There's the battery. So we've got these two screws here. So we definitely, for the battery, we need this obviously, because that's the battery cable. There are these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws at the bottom here that need to be removed in order to get access to the battery. Because this is all circuit board here. And actually these two screws also need to be, so there are 7 screws in total. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove them just right now. Not even going to try and figure out. I'm not even going to try and see if it's a thing that I can do without removing those screws, because everything that I've seen that you'll need to remove those. So I just went ahead and magnetized the screwdriver. Makes it a little easier to pull these buggers out. I'm going to keep all the 5 screws that are the same together. These are probably all the same screw anyway. And then the 2 that go on the outside here, I'm going to put in a slightly separate location, because they're definitely a smaller size screw. If you notice, hopefully you can see on this camera, it's just an edge all the way around that goes up underneath, and when we put it back in, there's this tiny little tab right there that'll have to go back in, and that can be a little bit tricky. So don't worry, I'll edit out all the cussing and swearing. So let's go ahead and get these 2 out of there. Again, really kind of hoping it's not glued in as much as some of the others. Move this bottom panel here. It looks like this is as glued in as some of the other YouTube videos that I've seen. Looks like I've got a little bit of give. It's always a plus. Just now the battery's disconnected, I can hit the buttons with impunity. Wow, that's a lot. That's fun. There we go. That was glued in, but my battery must be different than some of the other ones that I've seen, because this one isn't glued in near as bad. So I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and open up this battery. This is just open at the top here. That's interesting. There's this black tape over this. I don't know how. Well, let's see. Let's just kind of peel it off and find out. Yep, sure enough, that's the Blackberry logo under there. I mean, you can't see. You're not going to see it on a camera. I'm actually peeling up these the letters as I go. But this is definitely a Blackberry battery that I ordered. I couldn't for the life of me tell you where I got it from, but yeah, essentially the same thing. Yeah, 4.40 VDC, nominal voltage 3.85, capacity 3440 milliamp hours. 13.24 watt hours. Yeah, exact same battery. Physically just a little bit smaller, but it's yeah. Honestly, I don't think the battery itself is a little bit smaller. The connector the part up here where there's all the connectors and a little bit of wiring in there, that's where it's shorter. So physically, I don't think the battery's any shorter. We'll go ahead and put that up there. Looks like we got it. Should just snap in place here. Just maybe having a hard time lining it up. Well, there we go. That looks a little better. There's one. There's number 2. Now on my particular phone, it didn't look like there wasn't anything securing this at the bottom, so I really didn't need to take out those 7 screws. It might have been necessary if I would have done some other sort of repair work, but I would have to say that taking out those 7 screws just was unnecessary. And then carefully prying it up at this point, there's 2 indents right here, prying that battery up. That really, and just being real careful about it, looks like that worked really well too. Let's put these the tinier screws in. There's one here, and there's one here. These are the 2 smaller screws that I took out. Now for the 5 that go around the edge. Before I put the back on, I'm gonna test this out and make sure that this powers up and everything's okay. Another reason why I like Blackberry, very, very serviceable phone. All right, so let's go ahead and power this up. Well, it might not have any charge on it. Let's plug it in and find out. I happen to have my Unihertz charger here. This battery's been sitting around for such a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't have any charge on it at all. Oh, we got a little green light. That's a positive thing. There we go. 0%. Yep. Fully discharged battery. So let's go ahead and pop this back on. Now, like I said, there's a little trick to doing this. And you want to get that ridge up underneath. Like I said, this is a little bit tricky. This might take a little bit. Push down on that lens a little bit. We're going to kind of rock it in place. Now there we go. So if you didn't notice, I had to slide this in this way a little bit to get it started. Go. Push down on this lens a little bit. Not really a lens, it's just kind of a cover. The lens is actually inside there. And then well, that little bit went in kind of easy. Just kind of followed the lens there. And this here. There we go. Trying to get that edge in all the way up underneath. There we go. And then it's just a matter of snapping that cover down. You push in a little bit like this, and little clips grab hold. Go. Same with the bottom, they're all the same kind of clip. Push in a little bit and push down at the same time. There's a clip right about here that keeps popping it back up. So there we go. Now that we've got it in, the bit, the clips start clipping into place like they should. And there we go. It looks like we got it sealed all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and get this on the charger again so that I can take a look at it later. This should charge it pretty fast. This is a this unihertz charger is a 2 amp charger, but we'll come back to this a little bit later. Novices that don't have the